Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lost-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. How's it going, guys? How are you today? I hope you're well. Or whatever, I guess. You dirtbags. Oh my gosh. Mondays are terrible. Mondays are terrible. It has been Monday for a week, as far as I can tell. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, I do need to shave the neck beard. It's embarrassing. I was gonna do it today, but I'll tell you about my day. It wasn't crazy. It was just long. Oh my God. Okay. So this is interesting stuff we've got going on. Anyway, so here's the deal. Last night I got home. My kids had 2 recitals. I think I mentioned that they had recitals yesterday, but my kids had 2 recitals. They had violin and then piano. And after 2 recitals, I'm tired because I got to drive the kids around, cheer them on, I guess, take video and pictures and everything. So I get back home and I sit down on the couch and I fall asleep for like 3 hours from like 9 to midnight. Not a big deal. But then I wake up at midnight and I'm wide awake. I am wide awake at this point because I just took a power nap. 3 hours of solid nap. So I'm like, okay, well, now what? So then I was like, okay, well, I'll go. I grabbed some topics to put together some videos, put together 3 videos preloaded for today, got them all ready, complained about stuff on Twitter, and then got everything set up. And about, by that time, it's about 5 in the morning. It's about 5 in the morning. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go to bed now, I guess, but I'm wide awake. So I go up and I lay in bed and I'm just laying there for like an hour or whatever. And I finally forced myself to sleep, but I had an allergy appointment. I had an allergy appointment with today at like 11. So I had to be up and get up at just, like 4 hours after I went to sleep, which is fine. Not a big deal. But then I woke up and my whole day was off. But I got new allergy prescriptions. So I'm very excited. Very excited for that. And pretty soon I'll be injecting myself full of pharmaceuticals at home from the comfort of my own home. In just a couple months, even I can shove needles into my own arm and take this injectable medication. I can't wait. So after that, I had to do some shopping. The shopping was really boring. And then Lady Rackets tells me she's over at someone's house with the kids. Kids are playing outside. So I get over there. I go over there, and one of my kids has launched, right as I get there, has launched a bocce ball into the back of another kid's head. Not on purpose. Nobody's mad at anybody. Just throwing bocce balls around. And then kids are running in the, they're like, oh, what is this? Downrange? What's that? I'll just run and there'll be bocce balls and heads. And so I'm like, I get there And the women folk are freaking out because, like, bocce balls hit a kid. They don't know if he's okay. He's fine, by the way. No blood or anything, but he's a little guy, and so he got a big bump on his head, like icing this poor kid down. So then I'm like, I was gonna go to Costco today. I've never been to a Costco in my life. I've been to Sam's Club. I know it's like Costco, but I've never actually been inside a Costco. The only time I've been near a Costco, my mom was going in, and I was just like, yeah, I'm going to stay in the car because she was just running in to grab something, and I didn't want to go into Costco. So I've never been into one. So Soder, my Discord admin, he's like, hey, I'm making a Costco run, which is an hour away from my house. He's like, you want to go? And I said, sure. I'll go to Costco. I don't know. Don't have anything else to do. So he's going to pick me up at like 4:30. So I get home at 3, and I'm like, okay, that is enough time for me to take a run, to take a shower, and be ready to go to Costco. So I go out and run an embarrassingly short amount. I just did a 2-mile run, and I thought I was going to die because you got to understand, with the allergy to the heat, I haven't really done much physical activity in significant amounts for a while. So Phoenix, I'll get there just a minute. I appreciate it. So I haven't been keeping up with running or anything. So I'm like running this 2 miles, and I feel like I'm going to die immediately. So then I get home, I take a shower and get ready, and then go up to Costco, and then walk around that place forever. And then got some food with Soder, and then we came back home. And that's been my whole day. And I'm like, oh my God, this day just keeps going. There's so much stuff happening. Normally my days are like wake up, record videos, try to keep the kids from lighting the house on fire, and then, do the show. So anyway, it's been a day. It's been a day. It's a fine day. It's not a bad day, but it is a Monday, and Mondays automatically suck. And yes, today on the internet says 80 and humid in Minnesota today, so it was rough running. Yeah, it was very humid. It's not particularly hot, but it was very intense sun. It was slightly less humid than yesterday, thank goodness. But yeah, it was it's tough, but that's the way it is, right? You got to get back into the swing of physical, like physical exertion, and it's a new season. So that's what I'm in. That's what I'm doing. I got new speakers at Costco because I have this convoluted 5.1 setup in my computer room, because I used to play video games with the surround sound. So I got wires and speakers everywhere, and they take up a ton of space. And I realized that nowadays, since I pretty much only game on stream, I'm always wearing headphones. So I don't really need speakers except for with a guest in the studio. Like, I literally, pretty much the only time I'm using speakers is when Drexel's here. So I got some speakers that are nice, like some Klipsch 2.1 speakers, because that's all I need for that, because you got the 5.1 headphones or whatever. But yeah, it's a weird world. When I was a kid, and by kid I mean like a teenager and then to young adult, I always wanted like a badass 500 watt 5.1 THX surround sound setup. Like, right? They used to sell these things for computers, just awesome. Like, Creative Labs would have this supercharged speakers. They weren't actually that great, but for a computer they were really good. And they probably cost like $300. But when I was 20 and broke, like $300 is insurmountable. So I always wanted one. I always wanted like a full setup. And then eventually, as I got older, they stopped selling those. So you had to do this setup where you run it into a receiver, and then Windows treats the receiver like it's a monitor. So then you have this other monitor. It's a mess. It's a mess. Long story short, it's a mess. How Windows handles multi-channel sound and receivers, not really the greatest thing. It's never been that good. But I had it. I had it set up because I was like, yeah, I love 5.1 surround sounds cool. Yeah, they're not good anymore. None of it's any good. So I'm now downsizing, trying to clean up some of the wires on my desk. If if you're in my Discord, I have terrible cable management, and I'm working on getting that shifted because it needs to happen. Anyway, so that's my day. Oh, one last thing. You know what I hate? This motherfucking Maricopa County audit. I hate it. I hope it dies in the biggest fire. I don't mean I hope it fails. I don't mean anything like that. I literally hope it manifests into a living entity and then gets shot like it's a Black Lives Matter activist in the UK or something. That's what because I hate reporting on any of this stuff. I hate it. And here's why. Here's why I hate it. Because I did 3 videos yesterday. I did one on Gretchen Whitmer. I did one on the ACLU. And no, my video is not demonetized. It's beautiful. It's kicking the shit out of my other videos. And I hate it. The Gretchen Whitmer video, funny, good stuff. The ACLU, extremely important that one of the bastions of liberty is just continuing its slide into literal government operative status. And then there's the Arizona audit. And you barely have to say anything. All you type in is Arizona audit. And like all of a sudden 30,000 people are like, oh, I got to watch that. Why? Nothing's happening. Nothing's going on. It's not doing anything. It's not going to do anything. And then you get a million comments and they're all like, oh, this is it. This is the one. This is where Trump's going to win. It's like, no, it isn't. Even if they found all of the bad stuff, you've got a constitutionally inaugurated president and you don't have a mechanism to remove the sitting president and replace him with his competitor. That mechanism isn't there. And you could say it over and over and over. And people are like, you're a coward. You're a traitor. I'm like, what? It's not me. It's not me. I think that would be funny. That would be the funniest outcome. Of course, I want that. I think it'd be great. Democrats would lose their minds. The media would melt. It'd be so hilarious. And yet, it doesn't exist. There's not a thing to do it. So that's a problem. And then, so you get a million of these comments. And if you say, yeah, by the way, guys, just so you know, it's probably not going to do anything to the outcome of the 2020 election, which was constitutionally settled 5 months ago. And everybody's like, yeah, but they cheated though. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I hate to be the guy to break it to you because I know a bunch of other people aren't saying this, but it doesn't really matter. Could this lead to a senator or House rep recall? Good luck. No. like, I guess in some wild possibility, maybe, but probably not, because the process for undoing that isn't so clear either. And all of this runs into severe questions of balance of powers. Like if you do it through the court, so wait, the court's going to decide which election result is the correct one? We already decided which one was correct. I don't think that's like, believe me, I got my issues with it. But that's the process that we have. So how do we decide that process is not good and then the other process is the right one? even though it's not written down anywhere. Like and it really is all making it all up. But the problem is you've got a bunch of people who are so convinced that it's going to happen because they've got a bunch of people telling them that it's going to happen. Just like when I was talking about the election lawsuits right after the election, I was like, these guys, these probably aren't going to go anywhere. They're probably not going to change the outcome. It's a really hard thing to do. And I get a bunch of people screaming at me to, one, trust the plan, two, Trump's going to military take over. And notice, over and over again, it went by the existing process. As flawed and broken as that may be, that's the process that we have, and we don't have a model for anything else. But so many people are convinced that there's somebody coming to ride in. Gandalf at dawn, right, is going to come in. He's going to shine the light down on the armies attacking Helm's Deep, and they'll be beaten down by a bunch of gay horsemen from Rohan. And I don't know where they're hearing it, except on fucking Rumble, apparently, because that's where all those videos go. Oh my God. And so I hate covering it because I'll wrap this up. I'm heavily incentivized to cover it. Because every video I do on the Arizona audit, if it performs anywhere even close to today's video alone, not counting tomorrow, how that video is going to do, or the next day, if I cover it, every video would make me $200 to $300 minimum. And I could do any number of other videos on topics that matter, that are more interesting to me, that I think should be more interesting to anybody else. And they won't. But I hate that about YouTube. Why did I do it? I wanted to cover the funny Slate article. I didn't know exactly how it was going to do. I didn't know it would triple the views of my other videos today. It was also the last video I released. So not only did it triple them, it tripled them in less time. I just wanted to cover the Slate article that went, what happens if the audit shows that Trump won? Because that's what they're scared of. And I think them being scared, to me, that's the story. That's the funnier story. And that's what I talked about, is I'm laughing at the people who write Slate. As far as the audit goes, I haven't really been following it. I don't think it's going to do much other than just give the legislatures some ammo to write new laws. We've seen those laws already popping up in Florida, in Texas, in Georgia. They're already happening there. So Arizona probably going to have some laws come out of it. Hopefully places like Pennsylvania and Ohio will have some laws solidifying the absentee process. And that's a fine result, but I don't think it merits daily coverage personally. And so I haven't really been following it, but I saw the Slate article. I laughed at the dummy. I laughed at the dummy writing the Slate article. I'm like, this guy doesn't know what to do. They're in spin mode. They're in spin mode, and they don't know how to spin their way out of this, because if the audit comes back, especially with them covering the audit over and over, they're gonna have to try and find a way to mitigate it. And I think to me, that's the funny joke. And so that's the reason I covered it today. But yeah, I just hate being incentivized to cover stuff I don't like YouTube's content distribution very well. Very much. That's the long and short of this. That's it. But, I'll take the money though. I'm not going to return their check. Okay, let me do the super chats. And let me do the super chats. I mean, look. This is still a grift. This is, at the end of the day, this is still a grift. So there may be more coverage. I don't know. I really do try to only cover things that I'm actually interested in covering. AWIG, $200 to $300 is incentive. Are you poor or something? It is incentive when it's about 20 minutes of work. Mr. Disaster. Oh, I will bitch about it though. That's the whole point. This is my 3-hour daily therapy, Mr. Disaster. Haven't you figured that out by now? Okay. Here we go. We got a couple pre-stream chats to get. And then I'll talk more about grifting, but in a different context. Faceless Man. Yep. We're probably going to talk about that today. Okay. Phoenix Oram dropped a bunch of Canadian dollars. So thank you, Phoenix. He's got 4 messages in a row. I'm going to read through all of them real quick. Oh my God. Is this an all in preacher voice? Yes. Yes, it is. All right. Can you count, suckers? I say the future is ours. If you can count. Now, look what we have here before us. We got the furries sitting next to the MGTOWN boys. We got the weebs right by the Kiwi farmers. Nobody is wasting nobody. That is a miracle, and miracles is the way things ought to be. You're standing right now with 9 delegates from 100 Discord servers, and there's over 100 more. That's 20,000 furries, 40,000 MGTOWN boys, and 20,000 more not organized but ready to fight. 60,000 soldiers. Now there ain't but 20,000 degens in the whole town. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Godspeed. This message was brought to you by Phoenix Weebs and the Dragon's Treasure Tea Shop. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, Phoenix. That was confusing and humbling and titillating at the same time. And then we have the Dragon's Treasure himself says, I would like to personally thank Spectre for being such a terrible person that his attempts to attack my store led to a notable boost in sales from people telling him to F off. Good job being hated by everyone. So there you go. If you're not aware of Spectre, he is apparently hated by everybody. Also in the Discord. So you can meet these wonderful gaggle of degenerates. You can meet all of them. William Smith says, an allergy appointment. Is that what you call a trip to the gym? Yes. That's an appointment with my allergy. I guess I should have clarified. I had an appointment with my allergist. Mega Mobass says, you talking about bocce ball reminded me of when playing a game with when I played a game with Pat Sajak. My neighbor was his son's professor at Hillsdale College, and it was commencement week, and Pat was in town. One of the best days of my life. Oh, I bet that was fun. Pat seems like a nice guy. Is that true? Or is he like a giant jerk? I don't know. And then finally, we've got Gunnar Rene says, the Norwegian Prime Minister's husband organized a dinner with too many people. The police didn't find the husband or the restaurant, even if they could. But they did find the Prime Minister herself because she made the rules. She should know better. Not here, though. That's not going to happen in Michigan. Not with Gretchen Whitmer. Not with Gretchen Whitmer. She's immune to that. She and Gavin and Cuomo. Who else has violated the order and had to apologize? Walz, de Blasio, every Democrat. Every Democrat governor has violated their own orders. Oh, sorry. Whoops. Hmm. Oh my goodness. All right. That being said, let's move on to the first topic, which is it's like a me episode. It's not gonna stay a me episode, but it's gonna start a me episode. By the way, are you gonna eat the bugs yet? You gonna eat the cicadas, you bigots? Stop eating the cows and eat the cicadas. Just disgusting. Okay. Here we go. Here's the thing I wanted to bring up. Get in the pod. Okay, so the other day, is this centered? Pretty good. Not a bad first attempt. The other day I did a video on the Georgia audit. The Georgia election audit, federal judge unsealed 145,000 ballots, absentee ballots, and ordered them to be imaged or whatever so that auditors could look them over. Not a big deal. Very, very dry video. Nothing spicy about it. Just very informative, pretty neutral on the subject. The Georgia ballot audit is very different than the Arizona one. The Arizona one has a lot of drama about it. It's got the Cyber Ninja. It's a company called Cyber Ninja, that's funny enough on its own, I guess. But they're running the audit. And they're doing the media and the Democrats and some of the Republicans even are accusing them of all kinds of mishandling and bad stuff. It's very dramatic. The Georgia audit is running through the court. And so it's a little bit more tame, right? But I did this thing, and YouTube, without being asked, manually reviewed my video, which was monetized, fully monetized for most of the views that happened on it. And I was like, and then all of a sudden I get a thing that says a human reviewer found that your video is suitable for limited ads, because now this is the important thing to know. The background of YouTube is harmful or dangerous acts. And this segment is not me bitching about ads again. That was on the other thing. This is different. This is me mocking someone on Twitter. This is the backstory. So here is the thing. They have a bunch of categories like foul or offensive language. So minimal amount of swearing is fine as long as it's not in the first 30 seconds of a video. But if you have swearing in the first 30 seconds of the video, you're going to get limited ads. Okay, that's one of YouTube's things. And if you drop a bunch of gamer words, you're going to get no ads. Pretty simple. So they have all these different categories. Violence, gore, controversial, subject matter, terrorism, all of these things. And they have harmful or dangerous acts. So it's important to note that the reason that they gave for limiting ads on this video made no sense. 0 sense at all. So here it says, situations that may endanger participants. And then YouTube selection in the subsection of the harmful or dangerous acts is a focus on accidents, pranks, or stunts that have health risks, like drinking or eating non-edibles. Or I guess YouTube only encourages edibles, which is good. Or discussions of trending videos that show this type of content. So like if someone was eating nails or something, I guess, and you're like, you know what? We got to talk about this video, this guy eating nails. Eating nails is great, or whatever. That would be this sort of content, I guess. I don't even know what that looks like. But that's the long story short, my video had nothing to do with that. It's literally me talking about the audit in Georgia. Like, I don't think I even made a joke about drinking glass or anything. So it's just, you know, it made no sense. So I tag Team YouTube. When this happens, by the way, you don't get to question the YouTube. You don't get to question them. This is after your appeal. Okay, so typically how it works is they'll give you the yellow money icon and say your thing has limited ads, and then you have to click to request a manual review. Now, that never happened on this video. I never requested a manual review because it was green the whole time. It came in with the human review. So I couldn't even challenge it in the app. Otherwise, like this type of stuff, you get the yellow icons and you challenge them and then they go away or they stay, whatever it is, pretty frequently. But so I'm not like running to Twitter every time this happens. This one was just special thing, and I didn't have anywhere else to go because I couldn't appeal it in the app. There's not a possible way to do that. So I just tag Team YouTube, and I'm like, okay. So then what happens is this. As if I have blown the conch with a ball gag on the end, the cuckold comes running, right? And that is this turd, Alf Bicknell. Now, I don't know who Alf is, other than the other day, Alf tagged me, Barnes, Viva, Nate the Lawyer, and Eric Hunley. No, he might have left off Barnes. Me, Viva, Nate the Lawyer, and Eric Hunley. And on some speech issue. I actually brought it up on the show. It's about William Barr going after the Devin Nunes cow guy. Right? And so that's the first time that I remember seeing Alf Bicknell. I may have interacted with him before. I don't know. But that was just the other day, so it's still in my brain. And then he's like, he shows up here. So again, the cuckold has shown up. And he says, you can say whatever you want. No, you can't. No, you can't. Not in today's America. He says, nobody is forced to pay you. So I ask him a simple question. Hey, what's up, uncivil? Yeah, you got to yell at this Alf guy. It wasn't me tagging. So I ask him if he's an idiot, which I think is a reasonable question. You are in their program, you have to play by their rules, quit whining. Well, first of all, the entire point of the post is that I didn't break the rule. There's not a rule going on there. Like their diagnosis of my video was flatly incorrect. That's the issue. Not that they have rules and I have to play with. I was clearly within them, right? So here we go. But here's the thing. He said, nobody is forced to pay you. Actually, though, let's be very clear on something. I'm in the YouTube Partner Program, which means that YouTube and I have a contractual relationship where I make the things and they literally have to pay me for it. If they don't, I have a claim. I have a cause of action. It's contract law. And that's what it is. So yeah, YouTube is actually forced to pay me with this. And so yeah, in their program, yes, I have a partner agreement, a contract that says I stay within X rules and they actually do have to pay me. They cited a clearly incorrect reason that my video broke advertiser rules. They didn't cite a correct reason that my video broke a rule. So to answer your idiotic statement, yes, they are forced to pay me because they promised to do so. They promised to do so. But that isn't even the point. The point is they created a set of rules and categories and picked one that obviously does not apply. My partner status literally gives me an enforceable right to complain because they made a set of promises to me. Now, that's twice I remember seeing your names, and both times you've been fucking wrong and idiotically so. So here we go. if you had an enforceable right, your video would be monetized. That's not a correct thing, but I'm going to hold off. They are not. Everyone has a right to complain, and you do so often. But YouTube makes the decisions about whether to monetize your drivel. Kind of. They have to decide within the terms of the contract a reason to not do it. Otherwise, you can sue them. But it's dumb for me to sue YouTube over like $20. That would be a silly move. And often, like today, they decide your content can't be monetized. This is an abjectly incorrect analysis. Enforceable doesn't mean enforced. Enforcing the right through a contract suit would be cost prohibitive. Tons of enforceable rights go unenforced for any number of reasons. Try being less of a fucking moron. And this happens in business all the time. A shipping contract gets messed up, right? Something comes in, they're short on parts that you ordered. They sent the wrong thing, and you could, in theory, sue over every time that happens. But you know what you wouldn't have is business relationships. It wouldn't be good for business, and it would cost you a ton of money to have lawsuits filed against these people all the time. So this is just abjectly wrong. If you really think that you have an enforceable right to put up whatever video you want and Google has to pay you for it, then I don't know what to tell you. That's not at all what I said, but okay. Read your terms of service. This isn't remotely close. You're right, this isn't close. Nick is completely correct, and you're talking completely out of your ass like the boots of YouTube. But let's get back to, I think it's right here. We have to go. I have to find the right thread. Okay, it wasn't there. Second. Okay, so he says it does apply according to their sole discretion. You just don't like it. And then here we go. So by his rules, right? If I had an enforceable right, it would be monetized. Well, guess what? Me fucking complaining on Twitter got it monetized. So I guess I had an enforceable right. There we go. There we go. So I wanted to give people who may have seen the initial posts an update. I got no explanation. I got no response. It got fixed. After I complained about it, several hours after I complained about it, it got fixed. And there you go. You're a lawyer. What part of sole discretion don't you understand? Ah! He doesn't even know what to say here. I guess it was in there. You're right. It was there. They sole discretioned it, and then because I complained, they sole discretioned it again when they realized they made a mistake. Like I guess that was the sole discretion involved me complaining and them then responding. I guess. I guess. This guy's embarrassingly fucking stupid. That's all. I know this from 2 tweets. That's it. I don't know this guy from Adam, but he might know a few Adams, if you know what I mean. I don't know him from Adam, and I've determined that he's an absolute moron. So there you go. There's that. And I think that's all the discussion I have tonight. Good night. See you later. No, I'm just kidding. On the YouTube behind the scenes stuff, they just both happened to happen today. So, Tom says, been watching you since the LOL suit. Thank you for all the memes. Would be grateful if you could share this GoFundMe. Both my parents had debilitating strokes in the last 4 months, and we're at a bit of a loss. Just DM'd you on Twitter. Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Let me, I'll pull this up real quick and I'll put the link in chat for this GoFundMe. You guys can take a look at it. I've got to do more research on it myself, but I'll put it up in chat. People want to take a look. Looks like two people suffered. The parents of Tom suffered strokes, and so they're trying to raise some cash in GoFundMe. So here we go. Oh, here it is. Here it is on stream. So it's help Carol and Bill with medical costs. So if that's something that appeals to you, go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna talk to Tom and get more information about it. So, and then maybe I'll bring it up on another show after that, because when there's genuine stuff going along, I like to let people know about it, and I like to help out. And so I'm gonna talk to Tom, get some more information about that. But for now, you can check it out in the link in the. You can check out the link in the chat. So thank you, Tom, for that, and we'll talk. Andrew Haskins says, first of all, it's my birthday. Second of all, you and Yellow Flash read my super chats like a bunch of rereads, so don't complain about how long he takes to read them. He needs all the time in the world. Wait, me and Yellow Flash? I don't read yours like a reread. Just Yellow Flash does. He's the slowest super chat reader on the planet. Okay. All right, let's get to the juicy stuff we've got. So I've got this weird story that I saw. I guess we'll start with this because it won't be a long subject at all. But I saw this and I thought, God, a bunch of people still like Zack Snyder. That's all I could think. So here we go. Zack Snyder reveals his pitch for a female version of The Wrestler starring Amy Adams. So I guess that seems like people want, like, he thinks people want to watch that. I guess. And that sounds like something I don't want to watch. Now, to be fair, that's kind of like a really crappy headline. But we can go a little bit deeper. Look at this guy, Zach Sharf. Oh my goodness. Snyder pitched Adams on playing a Midwestern housewife turned bodybuilder. So there's here we go. It's a kind of female version of The Wrestler about a Midwestern housewife who happens to have a pretty good body and starts to do some bodybuilding competitions and then falls down a rabbit hole of steroids and hormones. I guess they end up looking like Caitlyn Jenner. Is that what happens? Snyder said, it becomes a contest between fitness and family, and she loses her family because she's spending all her money on diet supplements and drugs and trainers and all that stuff. That sounds terrible. That sounds. Can you imagine the Snyder cut of that movie? Like the kids and the dad getting in the car and driving away, but it taking an hour of slow motion with like cell shading or whatever. Oh my God, this would be just atrocious. Ugh. Ugh. Oh God. I don't know, man. I keep seeing people talk about Zack Snyder being good at stuff, and I can't figure out what it is that he's allegedly good at. Oh, and that leads me to the next story. See, I told you that one would be short. That's all I wanted to do was just a quick hit on that one, because I was like, I saw it and I was like, I have to talk about this just a little bit because this is so stupid. But this one is just for you guys. What is this? Oh God. Okay, no, thank you. Sorry, I opened Drexel's message to me, and don't ever open a Drexel message. Just don't do it. Tina says, so we have the sole discretion to call you a Jew-nosed fig and force you to read through super chats. Yeah, I mean, I guess. All right, here we go. You guys ready to see some breasts? It's like the 80s in here. We're going to have random nudity. This is going to be great. Here we go. Elliot Page beams in shirtless poolside shot. Trans BB's first swim trunks. Elliot Page posted his first shirtless shot on Instagram since revealing he underwent top surgery. Here we go. There it is. There's Elliot Page. Nice stomach though. Like I wonder if they got that cleaned up a little bit while they were getting the top surgery. So there you go. That's the new thing. Should we listen to what Elliot Page said on Oprah? You have sole discretion to do whatever, Tina, but I have sole discretion to get my sweet revenge. Here we go. Whoa. Nope. Sorry, I had the wrong audio source selected.
Of being able to explore what that vision as Elliot Page will look like?
I think, like anything in life, things are always changing, which is obviously one of the most beautiful things of being alive, one of the scariest and most beautiful. And I guess from where I'm sitting now, all I know is the degree of comfort.
Why is their voice quivering? Like, aside from sounding like a woman in general, why are they quivering through this conversation?
Sense of home, ability to be present, feels so profound and life-changing. And so what I look forward to is getting to move through the world in that way.
That's all right. Do you notice what happened there? The important thing. She didn't say anything. It was just words. Okay, we'll get off that picture. It was just words. It wasn't words with meaning. It wasn't words with any impact to them. It was just a bunch of words. It was a salad. It's not even a good, it wasn't even like a nice chef salad. It was just a Caesar salad without dressing. It was just romaine words. I mean, and here's where we've got, you notice Demi Lovato is trying to take Elliot Page's thunder. They're like, oh, this is working for him, her, whatever. I don't even care. I need some of that. So Demi Lovato has come out as some sort of other gender now, some sort of pick a different one. Lamaka, play the clip of what? And here's the trend, right? This is the momentum. We're going to start seeing, like, I can't wait till The Rock reveals he has a vagina now. Like, I can't wait till that happens. As somebody just keeps having to one up the other actor because they're all desperately starving for attention. The Demi Lovato clip, I don't even know where it is. Yeah, Tom, catch you later, buddy. We'll talk. Nerd Tremble, yes. But since I just shared the other one, I want to give a little break between it. But yeah, it's going to just keep building and building and building because they've realized that they can weaponize. It's like an Arizona audit video, right? It's like, oh yeah, you have one little celebrity dip their toes in the whole, like, I'm gay trans or whatever. And then they get a bunch of attention and stories and Oprah interviews, and all of this increases their potential marketability. And then another one goes, that's an idea. I'm trans gay or whatever. And then they do it, and then they get all of this news and attention because this is what's in. It's the media cycle is perpetuating how these people move through their sexuality, their gender, and their humanity. It's driven by clicks. Like, and so you can't trust it. You can't trust it at all. You don't know what's true or what's false. The Philosophy Tube now girl, right? Did the same thing. Channel's kind of on the decline. You'll know, by the way, when my channel's in trouble when I come on here and I'm Nicole and I've changed genders, right? And I now live my life as a beautiful lesbian woman or whatever with a giant nose. Like, you'll know. That's how you know somebody's agent or whatever is like, get the fuck out there and do something. You got to do something. Like, but I just want to just get me into Avatar 2. That's all I need. Will I use those short shorts? I went running in them today. They're comfy as hell. When you try to define your humanity based on the media's clicks, you're not defining your humanity. You're defining your pocketbook. You're defining your wallet, and you're following along with trends. And in some cases, they're going to pretty extreme lengths to do so. But when have actors not been willing to go to extreme lengths to do stuff? I mean, Christian Bale went from, like 200 pounds to 80 pounds or whatever for the mechanic or the machinist, whatever that was. The machinist, right? And then he bulks back up for Batman and other roles. These people are willing to put in tons and tons of work on themselves to increase marketability. Like Russell Crowe, for example, put on tons and tons of work. Absolute unit amounts of work into getting to be where he is today. And they're willing to do a lot. I don't believe a single one of them. But the press is going to keep the validation cycle going. And what better way when no movies are doing anything in the box office at all? What better way than to get your name out there? When albums aren't, or when you can't do a concert series, right? Like, cause we've had lockdown for a year. What better way to refresh your name in the industry than to be Demi Lovato? What did she even say? Let's see. I'm sure if I type Demi Lovato, I'm going to get the news on it. Demi Lovato asks fans to stop complimenting their weight loss. Then get fat. Oh my God, these people are terrible. Demi Lovato says complimenting a person's weight loss can be harmful. I am more than the shell for my soul that is my body. Yeah, but you know what? When you wear a nice shirt, someone says, hey, nice shirt. I'm more than the wrapper I put around the shell for my soul that is my body. It's just a compliment, you fucking idiot. Just take the damn compliment. And by the way, smile, honey. What is with this? By the way, to everybody who's out there actually working hard and losing weight, may 1,000,000 people compliment you on your weight loss. Everybody should be complimenting weight loss all day. All day. I'm trying to lose weight. Everybody should be complimenting weight loss. Here we go. Oh my God. So this is the cheesiest thing ever. Look at this. At least Elliot Page got the stitch up and the tits taken off, right? Like, at least that happened. Demi Lovato went with like the completely non-committal, like the weak. Pansexual isn't even, it's not even real. Nobody should be given any credit. Okay, sure. Come back to me when you've had someone lop it off with some scissors. Oh my God. Just absolute weak sauce. Like, oh, I'm pansexual. Okay, whatever. That used to be called bi or something. Demi Lovato comes out as non-binary and changes pronouns to they, them. So what's non-binary about it? Jinger shared the news to their 55 million Twitter followers on Wednesday. What? With a clip of their new podcast series. Of course she's got a new podcast right when she becomes they, right? It's like there's a, oh, I really want to launch this podcast. I have a lot to say. Listen, Demi, I've talked to you. No, you don't. You better do something big because you don't have a lot to say. All right? Please, dear Christ, stop talking to me and go talk to them. Here we go. In the new series, they set out to explore the non-binary identity with a variety of guests and have conversations that transcend the typical discourse. Oh, okay. Oh, thank God we're transcending now. I want to take this moment to share something very personal with you, Demi said on the video. Over the past year and a half, I've been doing some healing and self-reflective work. And through this work, I've had the revelation that I identify as non-binary. Me too. Okay, here we go.
This is 4D with Demi Lovato.
Holy fuck, that's loud.
Living in the fourth dimension means existing consciously and both.
Oh, God! Oh! People listen to this! 7 million views. Living in the fourth dimension means
Living in the fourth dimension means existing consciously in both time and space, but for me, it means having conversations that transcend the typical discourse. I want to take this moment to share something very personal with you. Over the past year and a half, I've been doing some healing and self-reflective work, and through this work, I've had the revelation that I identify as non-binary. With that said, I'll officially be changing my pronouns to they, them. I feel that this best represents the fluidity I feel in my gender expression and allows me to feel most authentic and true to the person I both know I am and still am discovering. In this first episode, I'm excited to share with you what this means to me and what it may look like for other people. I want to make it clear that I'm still learning and coming into myself, and I don't claim to be an expert.
wait, if you're coming into yourself, that's not non-binary, lady. you got a whole different set of issues. Hopefully you don't get yourself pregnant.
Or a spokesperson. I know this might be a new conversation for many, so I'm inviting my friend Alok, someone I trust, to spend time on this platform. Alok is an author, performer, and an important voice within the non-binary community and beyond. Their work to create visibility, equality, and understanding has inspired me on my healing journey. We'll discuss identity at large, but also take the time to personally reflect on how I came into my truth so that we, like many others, are able to live our lives.
Imagine reading this, people. Literally just reading it. You can watch her eyes. She's a good teleprompter reader.
Authentically. In just a minute, I'm going to share space with Alok and dive deeper into this conversation.
I'm going to share space with Alok? The fuck's Alok? Share space? Is he gonna get on the mic? Get on the mic, Alok! What is this horrifying language that they've created? They continued the Twitter thread adding, I don't claim to be an expert or a spokesperson. Sharing this with you now opens another level of vulnerability for me. Oh yeah. I'm doing this for those out there that haven't been able to share who they truly are with their loved ones. Please keep living in your truths and know I'm sending so much love your way. XOX. Is this still a thing? Like, is this a thing? Are we still... I hate to put it this way, but are we still at the part where we're trying to convince people that, like, in 2021, it's somehow unsafe to come out as something other than hetero? Like, are we still running with that? And I'm not talking about in Iran. I'm talking about in America. Like, as if you're not. Do you remember in the original Coming to America? When the royals would walk anywhere and like the girls would walk in front and drop the rose petals. Like that's what it's like when you come out today. Like you could be like a random teenager on a basketball team and be like, look, hey man, I'm gay as fuck. And you'll have a news story about it. Like ESPN will run an expose like while the scouts are about to approach your school or whatever. You're about to have your breakout senior season. And it's like, yeah, man, I'm gay as hell. And then all of this sudden you've got like a bunch of attention on you. That's what are we talking about here? The singer previously revealed they were queer in their revelatory YouTube documentary Dancing with the Devil and came out as pansexual, someone who is attracted to people regardless of their sex or gender identity. Oh, yeah. Can't be attracted to a gender identity. It's not real. It's not real. It's not how attraction works. And I will flat out say it. I'm an expert. I'm an expert on attraction. I'm fucking expert on it. It's just you can't be attracted to an identity. This is okay. So you like burying your face in labia. Great. Thanks. Sing the song. That's all anybody wants you to do. Sing the song. Just dance for the camera. Sing the song, singer. Nobody cares about this. Ugh. Jason McConnell says, I'm okay with her identifying as they, them. She clearly ate someone, possibly 2 people. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jason McConnell, for putting the words that we're all thinking on paper. Jesus, all right. Gotta get away from these social impact stories here. They all just piss me off. Let's move into a legal issue. We don't want to allow. Everybody who saw this should have known this is coming, but it's still fun to see. It's still fun to see. Amy Minty says, more crazy lawyers screaming into the mic, please. I haven't even started drinking yet. That's probably coming, to be honest. Here we go. Federal judges says, I don't know if the judge identifies as 2 people or if it's multiple judges and they say it, whatever. Georgia's anti-BDS law violates the First Amendment. What's an anti-BDS law? Well, let's talk about that. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Anyway. Oh my God. Go. A federal judge said that a Georgia law banning the state from doing business with anyone promoting a boycott of Israel violates the First Amendment. Okay. So Georgia passed a law that says if you want to boycott the Israel, we will not do business with you as a state. Right? So, and the federal court said, no, you can't do that. If people want to boycott Israel, they can boycott Israel. You can't stop them from boycotting the Israel. So, it's taken a long time. Oh, okay. But look, District Court Judge Mark Cohen rejected state officials' efforts to dismiss a lawsuit from Abby Martin, a progressive journalist and documentary filmmaker, challenging the law. Mark Cohen. Cohen's that's a Jewish name. So he's allowing the boycott of Israel. So it's not like a biased judge. It's not like a Palestinian judge or something. Well, can you not spam, please? So he says, yeah. Jesus. Rhyminy. So here we go. Cohen said in a 29-page decision that the law prohibits inherently expressive conduct protected by the First Amendment, burdens Martin's right to free speech, and is not narrowly tailored to further a substantial state interest. Even assuming that Georgia's interest in furthering foreign policy goals regarding relations with Israel is a substantial state interest, defendants failed to explain how Martin's advocacy of a boycott of Israel has any bearing on Georgia's ability to advocate foreign policy goals with Israel. Cohen, who was appointed to the bench by former President Obama, wrote in the decision. Lawsuit is still in its early stages, and Cohen has not yet ruled whether the state law should be struck down. But for now, it will keep going. The law should be struck down. The text isn't in the frame. I don't have the whole thing. I don't have my window as big enough to read that. The law should be struck down. If someone wants to boycott Israel, the state's not going to do business with it. Come on. That's just silly. That's a very silly law to have. But no, this is actually the correct decision on this one. Absolutely. Nick confirmed anti-Semite. Shade 221. I would assume that the journalist was doing business with the state or wanted to do business with the state, and the state said no. That would be the logical reason they would have standing there. So anyway, I wanted to share this. This is the correct decision. I mean, I think boycotts are lame in general. I'm not a pro boycott person of anything. I don't really look. If you want to do a boycott, that's fine. I don't buy things that I don't want. I don't do business with who I don't want to do business with or whatever. But I'm not like running around championing a cause against anybody. That's not my style. That's other people's style, and that's fine. But that being said, boycotting is not a reason. Like, the government trying to control who you can and can't advocate for or against is quintessential government intervention in speech, and it shouldn't happen. It's just not a thing that we want, because today it's Israel, tomorrow it's, I don't know, America. You're gonna boycott America. I don't know what else it would be. What if you wanted to boycott China, right? You're like, no, I'm going to buy all my phones from not China. And because they hate the Hong Kong. And so I want to boycott China. And the government's like, well, we really like China and we want to further our business relationships with them. So because you're boycotting China, we won't do business with you. That'd be ludicrous. That'd be ludicrous. So yeah, there's that. But that was a short one. This one's a little bit of a bigger topic here. This one will probably get a follow-up video tomorrow, because this is a question that we need to be asking. Florida governor signs ban on deplatforming by tech companies. The law imposes penalties of up to $250,000 a day on a social media platform that bans a candidate for office. Tech industry says the law takes us closer to a state-run internet. We already have a state-run internet, you liar. The tech industry pretending it's not state-run internet. It's literally the propaganda arm of the United States government right now, and particularly the Democrat establishment. So let's take a look at this. This one's going to be, this one will probably be a fight. Is that O'Keefe on the end? It kind of looks like James O'Keefe over there, but the picture's cut off. I don't think it's him. All right, here we go. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Monday signed a law that gives the state the power to penalize social media companies when they ban political candidates, escalating a fight between the tech industry and Republicans such as DeSantis and former President Donald Trump. How does it do that with Donald Trump? It is him? Okay, cool. Donald Trump isn't a candidate for office, and he wasn't a candidate for office when banned. It would have nothing to do with Donald Trump. What? The law to prohibit deplatforming is the first of its kind in the nation and may be a model for other states to follow, even though one tech business group said the law runs counter to the First Amendment. Does it? I'm not so convinced that it does anymore. Let's see. DeSantis celebrated the law as a blow against Silicon Valley elites, who he said were seeking to censor conservative political views. What we've been seeing across the U.S. is an effort to silence, intimidate, and wipe out dissenting voices by the leftist media and big corporations, DeSantis said in a statement. Oh, real quick, speaking of Silicon Valley elites, did you guys see that Jeff Bezos lost the title as the richest man in the world? Bezos is no longer the richest man in the world. He lost it to Louis fucking Vuitton. Not to Elon Musk. No, to Louis Vuitton, which goes to show that as powerful and huge as tech and social media and the internet is, women buying purses is way more money. Oh my goodness. Oh. He lost it. Even after his divorce, he was the richest guy on the planet. Oh my goodness. Tina says, Nick, did you see the H3H3 clip where they say that people are dumb because they aren't doing what the government tells them to do? I'll send you the clip in Discord DMs. I have not seen that, no, but thank you. Okay, back to this. Sorry, I saw that headline earlier, and I was like, Louis, that was out of nowhere. This guy like straight to the top, and I'm like, how is that the winner? Amazon can get you like a frozen chicken sandwich in 2 hours in a major metro area. And like anywhere, any major metro area, they will get you a chicken sandwich. And this guy's like, yeah, but I sell purses. What are you doing? I don't think it's actually Louis Vuitton, but it's the guy who owns Louis Vuitton or something. Amazon. We're pioneering how to deliver anything to your house by drone in an hour. But I make purses, though. All right, here we go. What we've been seeing across the U.S. is an effort to silence, intimidate, and wipe out dissenting voices by the leftist media and big corporations, DeSantis said in a statement. Research on social media has frequently shown the opposite. Here's my Bernard Arnault. Okay, Arnault. Whatever his name is. Thank you. But here we go. Here's where they're going to tell you that what you see happening every day isn't real. Instead, The actual reality is the opposite of what you see every day. Tom Bullis, no, I've not reached out to Sydney Watson yet. For no other reason than I've barely reached out to anybody over the past couple weeks to do any shows. Okay, yeah. So research on social media has frequently shown the opposite, that conservative politicians and websites can be so effective on social media that they often dominate measures such as Facebook's ranking of top links. Facebook has also relaxed its rules so that conservative pages are not penalized for violations. I love how they can't read the research. What that says is that the overwhelming amount of normal fucking people don't agree with what's going on social media. That's all that actually does. That's it. They're still getting banned. They're still getting banned more frequently for their political opinions, and literally nothing other than their political opinions. Not because of violence, not because of anything, but because of wrongthink. And just because they're dominating, they're dominating Facebook's ranking of top links, that's because normal people are still in the realm of normalcy on the political idiocy spectrum, right? But Twitter, like the Twitter noisy crowd, not the normal Twitter and Facebook and whatever users, but the squeaky Twitter crowd and the elites are so far to the left that the normal people who are somewhere in the middle are like, I don't know about this tax stuff because I really just kind of want to get a job and I don't care about gender identities, but I'm probably okay if two gays want to get married. That's where a lot of people are right now, and that is seen that is seen as hard right at the moment. But reality doesn't look like that. Reality looks like a bunch of normal people, but these guys are so far out there. They have no idea. It's like, look at these hard right conservatives who are supporting gay marriage. It's like, well, I mean, a couple of years ago, they would have gotten thrown out of the tent. Here we go. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other major services blocked Trump shortly after the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol by his supporters. Trump violated the terms of service that users agreed to when they sign up, including terms that bar the promotion of violence, the company said. But he didn't promote the violence at all, ever. He definitely did not violate the terms of service. Florida's law says that the social media companies may not permanently delete or ban a candidate for office. Suspensions of up to 14 days are allowed, and a service can remove individual posts that violate its terms of service. I think this is too much. I think that this law should not be limited to candidates for public office. I think here's my proposal. In exchange for 230 protection. In exchange for 230 protection, you can't ban people from the service. You can remove content that violates the law. Maybe terms of service. You cannot remove people from the service. That's where I am. If a company's actions are found to violate the law, the state's elections commission could fine a social media company $250,000 a day for statewide candidates and $25,000 a day for other candidates. Individuals in Florida may also sue for violations of the law, such as failure by a company to be transparent about its terms of service. Companies are excluded from the law if they operate a theme park or entertainment complex, a provision that was added to the law to protect Disney's streaming service, according to Orlando Weekly. No, DeSantis, no! Stop that. Why is Disney's streaming service banning anybody? A similar proposal is making its way through the Texas legislature. Carl Sabo, Vice President and General Counsel at NetChoice, a tech industry trade group, said the law may force platforms to carry posts that include violence or other harmful content. No, it doesn't. They said you can remove, a service can remove individual posts. So no platform is forced to carry posts that include violence or other harmful content. If by forcing websites to host speech, they're not forced to. Listen to how this works. Listen to how this works, right? When you how do I want to word this? When you don't like what a website is doing, right? They say, too bad, go build your own. No one's forcing you to do this. Right? No one's forcing you to use Twitter. No one's forcing you to use Facebook or YouTube, right? No one's forcing you to. Well, guess what? No one's forcing Twitter to exist. No one's forcing Facebook to exist. And no one is forcing YouTube to exist. That argument is complete bullshit. It's bullshit. They're not forced to host speech. No one told Facebook to host anything. They just host nothing. How about that? Lots of websites don't host speech. For example, you have websites that are just you go buy something, or it's just a news story and there's no commentary. No one's forcing them to do this. They're choosing to engage in the commerce of speech. That's their choice. They chose speech as their alleged product, the delivery of speech, as the service, I should say. You're the product. Your data is the product. But the service that they provide is the delivery of communication end to end. No one does that. You don't go into a Target and it's like, oh, well, guess what, Target? I want you to send my letter to Bill in Oregon and tell him he's a giant cuck. That's what I want you to do, Target. Target's like, well, we don't do letters. We're not a post office, sir. You can't force them to do it. It's just, this is a silly. I'm tired of this article, this thing. Because even in the abstract, even if you ignore the fact that no one forces a website to host anything, because they, like on Twitter, they can literally review your tweet between the time you click, between the time you click tweet and the time it actually loads. They can have their AI scan it for offensive content, and then it can flag it and ask you to verify it, or it can just take it down. We got to stop pretending these websites are forced to host anything. This bill takes us closer to a state-run internet where the government can cherry-pick winners and losers. Nope. They're literally saying, you can't. You can't pick the winners and losers. Like, look, it's the opposite. They're talking about private platforms picking winners and losers. Go ahead. Kick a candidate for Congress off Twitter and see how they do. See if they win. Kick them off Facebook and YouTube. See what their reach is like. They're going to be able to outmarket that. They're going to be able to make up the free marketing that they get on Twitter. It's insanity. They're wanting to pick winners and losers. They want that power. Of course they do, by the way. as long as they have the power to remove a politician from Twitter. The politicians are the servants of Twitter. They're at the mercy of their marketing. You can't outdo it. The amount of free advertising done by allowing politicians on Twitter. The real question is, without Citizens United, which I'm betting stupid websites like Facebook and Twitter oppose Citizens United. But the real question is, without Citizens United, could Twitter even host political accounts at all? I don't know if they could. It's far too valuable. The amount of services provided. Imagine how much it would cost if you didn't have Twitter, if you didn't have Facebook, reaching those audiences without those platforms. Because that's the Citizens United cost. That's the in-kind contribution that they're making to these campaigns. It'd be hundreds of millions of dollars. The First Amendment prohibits the government from compelling or controlling speech on private websites, he added. That's not entirely true. Matt Schreurs, president of the Computer and Communications Industry Association, another trade group, said the law is unconstitutional. I'm not so sure about that. It might be. It very well could be. That's not necessarily true. Does it further a compelling government interest? Free and fair elections, right? Equality in elections. Are they furthered by that law? Yeah. Is it the least restrictive means to ensuring that end? Does it block out otherwise constitutionally protected activities? I don't think so. I don't know that this thing is unconstitutional on its face. I mean, I can certainly see a court getting to it being unconstitutional, but if we go by strict scrutiny, which they have to pass, is it a compelling government interest to ensure free and fair elections or open communications or equal communication opportunities between two candidates? Maybe. And does it infringe on otherwise protected activity? Is it too broad? I don't think so. It only applies to candidates. It doesn't apply to regular people. It doesn't apply to politicians who aren't candidates. Facebook and Twitter declined to comment on the law. YouTube did not immediately respond to a request for comment. All three are members of NetChoice and CCIA. So there you go. This is a big question. And if this one isn't the right answer, the next one might be. The next one might be. And the next one might be. Here's what this is, though. This is the smoke signal, right? This is the first fire at Gondor or whatever. Is it Gondor? The first fire to let them know that the army was coming. And all the next fires are going to happen. Eventually the fight's going to show up. It's going to be a real one. But this is the warning signal. And the warning signal is simple. The days of unmitigated control over speech by big tech are starting to end. People are tired of it. Normal people are tired of it. Politicians are tired of it. They're worried about how this is going to play out. They're worried. The one thing you never want to do, never attack a politician and get in the way of him and his power. You can't do it. What they did to Trump scared Republicans. A lot. A lot. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Let me pull up that H3 clip before this next story. Oh, wait, it was on Discord. A second. All right, here we go. Let's see. I don't know what this is, but we're going to take a look at it. There's some H3 content. Oh my God, who's that train wreck of a person? Who's this on the left? Who is that? Like, you guys shit on me for my lighting. That's Hila Klein? Oh, okay. I don't know if the hat's doing her any favors. Lighting, but... Ooh, okay, here we go. Joe Rogan trashed Hila on his podcast. I don't know what this is. This shouldn't be too long.
It's such a short clip and
What the hell was that? I have never in my life listened to their show. So that that voice was jarring. Okay, here we go.
Awesome. Hila Klein, dumbass.
God, it's such a short clip and so much to unpack. But
I'll
it's
play it
like
again
Bill
for you.
said, I'm following the rules. Back then, they said you gotta wear a mask, so I'm out there wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Wow, big deal. And then now they say, you know, if you're outside, you don't need to wear a mask. It's pretty simple. You want to talk about who's dumb?
Yeah, I mean, the CDC is like this whole governmental body with scientists and shit that just tell us what to do. You don't have to think about it, dude.
Wait. What? What?
Wearing the mask.
That is
Who's wearing a mask? Who's that fucking
Who's wearing a
loser?
mask?
Who's that piece of shit?
Yeah.
I want to name her.
Can that person...
It's not
Who's wearing
what
a
he-
mask? Who's that fucking...
Who's
You don't have to think about it, dude.
Wearing the mask.
that is
Who's wearing a mask? Who's that fucking
Who's wearing
loser?
a mask?
He just asked who's wearing a mask. People watch this shit. People watch this. 1.4 million views. Will somebody hate crime me a noose, please? 1.4.
Who's that piece of shit?
Yeah.
I want to name her.
Can that person come up and like go shove themselves?
fine.
Olivia's not. She's a gangster. Look at her in the front row. Fuck it. Give me all the COVID. Meanwhile, people have been, look at this, outside with a mask on and everyone's tested. That's
So
what's so
good.
dumb.
Hey,
That's
Joe,
what's
mind
so
your
dumb.
fucking
Okay,
business.
you want to talk about dumb. The testing doesn't mean anything. You
Yeah.
can get tested fine, but it doesn't give you the guarantee. There's a fake, there's a false negative.
Yep.
You can get that, and then you would still give it to everyone in the party. Sorry, I don't want to do that to other people.
What are you doing? Are you licking their mouths? Like, Jesus. Oh, God. Okay. Thanks. Never in my life have I exposed myself to that show. And now I know that I was right until today. I was correct. My entire life I've been right. And now I'm wrong. So thank you for ruining that. I had a flawless streak. My KDR was 5 million to 0. 1.4 million views. That's 2 hours. Do you know how much money that is? Do you know how much money that episode made? Like somewhere between $20,000 and $50,000 for that episode. Just that video. Just that video on YouTube. Yes, I'm jealous AF. Oh my God. Yeah. Do you know how hard I could grift with millions of views? Holy criminy. I would drive a Lamborghini into a hot tub and broadcast from it. All right. Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? Here we go. Kevin Spacey set for return to movies with pedophilia drama. Doon, doon, doon. The actor, who's been the subject of multiple sexual misconduct allegations, is to play a detective in Franco Nero's film about a man wrongly suspected of child abuse. Kevin has proved that the only way to beat an allegation, the only way is to have all of your complainants magically die in Epstein-style accidents. Here we go. Kevin Spacey, the actor who has faced numerous allegations of sexual misconduct over the past 4 years, is set to return to film acting with a small role as a detective in an Italian crime drama. This is the test. This is the test. His agent has gotten him a test. Say, okay, how's the audience going to react? How are people going to receive this thing? What are critics going to say? What's the media going to say? We got to test this out. We're looking. It's been 4 years. You've been laying low. Everybody's dead. Thanks to Bruno over there, everybody's dead. So now we can start testing the waters. Glad you had a nice little nest egg built up. You can start testing the waters and see if you can get back into movies. Spacey 61 will play a police officer investigating the case of a man, played by the director, Franco Nero, who can draw people by listening to their voices, despite not being able to see, and is wrongly accused of sexually abusing children. I'm very happy Kevin agreed to participate in my film, Nero told ABC News. I consider him a great actor, and I can't wait to start the movie. He's a great actor. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's a phenomenal actor. One of my favorites. The film will also feature Nero's wife, Vanessa Redgrave, who will play the accused man's piano teacher. Spacey has been little seen on either big or small screen since 2017, when more than 20 men alleged sexual misconduct by the actor when he was working at the Old Vic in London between 1995 and 2013. Spacey denies all accusations of misconduct. He was dropped from Netflix's House of Cards series, and his scenes in Ridley Scott's All the Money in the World were hastily reshot with Christopher Plummer, who won an Oscar nomination for his work. So they took Kevin Spacey out. They put in Christopher Plummer and then danced on Spacey's grave by giving the guy an Oscar for it. That's amazing. In October 2019, prosecutors in Los Angeles rejected a sexual battery case because the accuser had died. While in July 2020, prosecutors in Massachusetts dropped a case after the 18-year-old man who accused Spacey of groping him refused to testify. September 2020, the Star Trek actor Anthony Rapp and another man filed a lawsuit accusing Spacey of sexual assaults in the 1980s when they were teenagers. Rapp had first spoken publicly against the actor in 2017, and in the suit detailed his allegation of sexual advances made to him aged 14. When Ramp first made the accusation, Spacey issued a statement saying he didn't remember the encounter but apologized. Shouldn't have done that, Kevin. Since his public fall from grace, Spacey has been seen in a small number of projects made before the allegations came to light. Billionaire Boys Club made 98 pounds on its opening night when it was released in the U.S. in 2018. 98 pounds? Over the past 3 years, Spacey has also released short, self-shot Christmas videos, beginning in 2018 with one in which he played his House of Cards character, Frank Underwood, addressing Netflix's decision to kill Underwood off, as well as the sexual assault claims against him. His video from last December sought to reassure those contemplating suicide because of the negative impact of the pandemic that it gets better. In a recent podcast, he also drew a line between his own situation and those whose lives had been destroyed by coronavirus. I don't think it will come as a surprise for anyone to say that my world completely changed in the fall of 2017, he said. My job, many of my relationships, my standing in my own industry were all gone in a matter of hours. And so I do have empathy for what it feels like to suddenly be told that you can't go back to work or that you might lose your job. Spacey appears to have spent a considerable amount of time in Europe since the allegations first broke. In 2019, he read a poem about a battered boxer in a museum in Rome before being seen signing La Bamba on the streets of Seville the following month. He's also reported to be serving on a jury of a new film festival in late August in Abruzzo, La Marche, and Molise. So there you go. Kevin Spacey. I love the headline, man. Set to return to movies with pedophile drama. Of course he is. Of course he is. That's phenomenal. The reason it's 90, it's in pounds, it's from the UK Guardian. That's also why they don't have a Z in apologize. 999 likes. No one else liked the stream. Don't do it, or else I'll have to drink again. You didn't listen. You immediately went to 1,000. What was that? Oh, God. I'm going to have to drink a different whiskey for the 1K drink. We'll do it in a second. We've got some drama happening in Minnesota. That's the next story. I like this Balcones whiskey, but it gets really sour. Opening aromas bear hints of toffee and overripe fruits. On the palate, layers of toasted malt and honey give way to mellow notes of baked pears and apples. I don't understand whiskey tasting. I can never do what they do. A long finish is accompanied by cinnamon and cloves. It doesn't taste like cinnamon and cloves. It tastes sour. Sour as fuck. Would you recommend Whistle Pig as a gift for Father's Day? Yeah, especially if it's for me. No, really, really a great whiskey. If the person likes whiskey, Whistle Pig is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Speaking of, for the 1,000-like drink, I will be having some of this 18-year Whistle Pig. I got to bring it back here so it's in focus. 18-year Whistle Pig. A phenomenal whiskey. I'll be very sad when it's gone. When your drink is old enough to vote, good stuff. Justin Smith says, "Oh, have you heard about the Sophie case and how the dad supposedly coached the girl?" I haven't heard anything about the Sophie case in a long time. Amy Minty, I have a P.O. box. It's in the description of every live stream. That doesn't taste sour. That doesn't taste sour at all. It's delicious. All right, back to Minnesota. Here we go. John McCain's glioblastoma. Got some recommends for rye whiskeys. Want to try rye now after bourbon and scotch? Well, I mean, any of the whistle pigs, you've got like a $30 to $40 bottle all the way up to multiple hundreds. They're all very good. I like Kentucky Straight Rabbit Hole. Kentucky Straight rye whiskey. It was very good. It was a good rye. Looking at what else we got up here. As far as ryes. Mostly, man, I'm drinking Whistle Pig on the ryes. Michter's rye is okay. Very inexpensive. This is the best rye whiskey I've ever had. This Kentucky Owl 10-year rye. It's the last batch number 4. They're never doing another rye whiskey, apparently. And these cost a fortune. So, I don't know what to say, but it is the best rye I've ever had. So if you're looking for a very special bottle for someone, that's the one. Make sure you get the 4th batch. All right, here we go. Chaos break. This is from the Daily Beast, so you're going to have to excuse the writing because it was written by someone with, some sort of personal disability. Chaos breaks out in prosecution of cop who shot Dante Wright. Trust no one. Imran Ali, the man originally tasked with prosecuting Kim Potter, resigned Monday, saying vitriol and partisan politics has made it difficult to pursue justice. This is the taser lady. Taser. Oh, I shot him. After Kim Potter, a white cop in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, was charged with second-degree manslaughter for fatally shooting Dante Wright, a 20-year-old black man, last month, activists swarmed the home of Washington County Attorney Pete Orput. Their demand was simple: charge Potter, who appeared to indicate she was going to use her taser before firing the fatal shot during a routine traffic stop, with murder. Okay. Let's do this. It is a routine traffic stop. She is an idiot for pulling a gun when she said she was pulling a taser. That said, the man had felony warrants for his arrest, or a felony warrant or gross misdemeanor warrant, something, and then tried to flee by getting into a vehicle. Had she just pulled the gun and shot, she's likely within the law. Likely within the law. With that being said, what the mob is going to do, and this is what the mob is risking in Chauvin's trial, the mob might make it impossible to prosecute these people. But of course, that's what the mob wants, right? Mob doesn't want a prosecution. They want an execution. They want a lynching. They want the system to fail to prosecute Derek Chauvin. They want the system to fail to prosecute Kim Potter. Because of course they do. Because then they can just kill them. Lomacov, fleeing felon, entering back into a vehicle. They don't know if he's grabbing a weapon. They've also got the vehicle itself being used as a deadly weapon, and then being a danger to the people around them. All of that. They want to be the prosecutor because the system is not doing it. We're at the stage now, y'all, where we're back to mob justice. The pendulum has swung back. This time, instead of it being the KKK or some group of good old boys down in Mississippi, right? Like taking on a black man who violated and desecrated a white woman. Now we're at the opposite end, but the same thing. Prosecutions done by mob where the result is death. That's what they want. They don't want these people to go through the systems. God, it's a good whiskey. Everything about it is good. All right. On Monday, Imran Ali, a top prosecutor in the Washington County Attorney Office and the man originally tasked with convicting Potter, resigned. In a letter obtained by the Daily Beast, he described the past several weeks as having been difficult for him and his family. The vitriol from some and the infusion of partisan politics by many has made my job difficult to pursue justice. The news did not throw the case against Potter into jeopardy. In fact, on Friday, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison announced his office would be taking over the reins of prosecution. Of course they would. Of course. Keith Ellison. This is governor material for Keith Ellison. This is how you build the case to go from a representative to attorney general to governor of the state. A press release said the change came after Orput's office returned the case to the Hennepin County Attorney's Office, who in turn tapped Ellison's office. But the jockeying over who exactly will prosecute Potter also highlighted demands from activists for more aggressive charges against killer cops, painted a picture of law enforcement officials at the end of their rope. When reached for comment, Ali declined to spell out his reasons for calling it quits, said he wasn't sure how his letter went public. I have no idea how my letter got to the... How did my letter get into the hands of the Daily Beast? Gee, I have no idea. I have no idea how it could possibly happen. His former boss, Orput, told the Daily Beast Ali's decision had nothing to do with Potter's case and said Ali had been more than thrilled to give the case back to fellow prosecutors. This isn't about me giving it up, Orput said. Ali was right there with me. Instead, Orput said he believed Ali had enough and wanted to get out. I'm sick of this shit, Orput added. I'm losing my best prosecutor and my best friend. Why are you losing your best friend? How are you losing your best friend? Because he's not prosecuting the case? Meanwhile, the leaders of two groups whose members protested outside of Orput's home say they no longer trust county prosecutors in Minnesota to fairly prosecute police officers, citing inherent conflicts of interest. What two groups? Name the groups. It's really hard for county prosecutors to really charge their fellow colleagues, if you will, said Mohammed Ibrahim, Deputy Director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, Minnesota. So CARE-MN is on the scene. Mohammed Ibrahim is there. Ibrahim said county prosecutors rely on police departments to help investigate potential charges, which some progressive activists believe is an inherent conflict of interest. That's right, Derek Chauvin, right? He pointed to Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman, who charged Derek Chauvin and other cops with murder for the killing of George Floyd several days after the incident in May 2020. By May 31st, 2020, Ellison's office had been tapped to take over the prosecution of that case as well. 11 months later, we see Derek Chauvin charged not only with second-degree murder, but third-degree murder and manslaughter, Ibrahim said, suggesting a county prosecutor never would have nailed the case the way Ellison's office did. I don't know if it was Ellison's office that did it, frankly. Hennepin County Attorney's Office did not respond to a request for comment on this story. Ibrahim added that in the case of Potter, Orpit told protesters outside his home that he could bring murder charges against her, but that he didn't think he would win if he did. I don't think it's up to him to decide, Ibrahim said. I think it's up to the people and ultimately the jury. No, it's literally up to him. He's the guy. He's the fucking prosecutor. It is up to him. It's definitely not up to the people. It's the opposite of being up to the people. The whole purpose of having a county prosecutor is to not have it up to the people. The people are stupid. The people are wrong all the time, especially on legal issues. Let's see. Orpit declined to comment about his decision not to bring murder charges, nor his comments to protesters. Jonathan McClellan, president of Minnesota Justice Coalition, said he was hopeful that Ellison taking over the case and bringing fresh eyes might result in murder charges that he believes are fitting for Potter. Third-degree murder, maybe. Maybe third-degree murder since she used a gun, similar to Justine DeMond's case. She should be charged as anyone else would, he said. She should not be given special treatment. She should be charged with murder. I mean, she clearly thought she was using her taser. Like, unless the idea is that she lied about the taser. What the hell is this? Last week, Ellison said in a statement that he did not actively seek to take over the prosecution of Potter, expressed confidence in how Orpit and Freeman had handled the case. Yeah, I believe this 0, by the way. I believe this 1,000,000% in the negative. Oh, they just asked me to take it over. Sure, Keith. Sure. He also said Wright's death was a tragedy and that he should not have died the way he did. I promise the Wright family and all Minnesotans that I will handle this prosecution responsibly and consistent with the law. I'll be guided by the values of accountability and transparency. No one, however, should expect this case will be easy to prosecute. History shows that this case, like all cases of officer-involved deaths by deadly force, will be difficult. On Monday, John Stiles, spokesman for Ellison's office, said the Attorney General was in the process of reviewing all the evidence, current charges against Potter, declined to comment about the prospect of murder charges to come. Earl Gray, Potter's defense attorney, did not immediately respond to a request for comment on this story. McClellan and Ibrahim said that while they were hopeful that Ellison taking over the case might lead to heftier charges, they don't see passing every police-involved death to the state attorney general as a sustainable model. Well, you're setting it up that way. Instead, they want an independent body specifically devoted to prosecuting cases of police violence. We need to do something because time and time again, these county prosecutors don't do their due diligence, he said. Their job isn't to represent the police. Their job is to represent crimes against the community. So there you go, guys. Big stuff. Dante Wright. Dante Wright. Dante Wright. Say his name, y'all. Dante Wright. Shoulda walked left. Dante Wright. Oh my God. Dante wrong. Oh my God. Bring Wigger Chick on? Man, I wish. She was hilarious. I would let her just absolutely ravage you, chat. It's what we do in Minnesota, y'all. We a community. Y'all billions have life insurance. We don't have life insurance. Y'all billions have life insurance. Do you have plans to cover Florida's ability to sue social media? I did. Already did. All right. We're getting near the end of my ability to keep doing the show. We have a movie night tonight on Twitch. So I think what I should do is start reading super chats. Think we should do that. I need to talk about another, very briefly, another GoFundMe was sent in. And okay. This is another GoFundMe I'll briefly show on stream. You guys can check it out. This is I'll put this in the chat. This is the Addison Family House Fire Relief. This is from This is from Nerd Tremble. Nerd Tremble. I don't know if that's his chat name. Oh, yeah, it is. It is his chat name. There he is. Nerd Tremble in the chat. Here is the GoFundMe link in the description. Here's the story. This is Nerd Tremble's uncle, apparently. Hello, I'm reaching out because our house caught fire Thursday afternoon. The cause is unknown. I awoke to breaking glass and immediately looked in the living room to find flames spreading to the interior ceiling, originating from the exterior. Cause unknown. My family and I are now homeless until further notice. We'll be in and out of hotels until we have somewhere to be stationary or repairs are made and it's inhabitable. Second time we've been put in a situation like this since Hurricane Michael in 2018. We just moved back in our home 1 year and 10 months ago. Peace was finally achieved until it burned. So there you go. That is the Addison Family House Fire. If you guys have anything to help them out, looks like with hotel expenses and stuff while they try and relocate or try and get things done, they're asking for a little help there. So you can check that out if you want. If you want to do that. All right. Let's read some of these chats. Malik Foxon says, pansexuality is a weird one. People probably don't understand what being pansexual actually means and use it rather than bi to be hip or cool, when it really just means you'd fuck anything you have a romantic sexual interest in, including dogs, tree, or me. Silky Johnson says, Zack Snyder is such a piece of shit. Remember when he threw geeks and gamers under the bus for, I guess, not virtue signaling hard enough? Geeks and gamers who sucked his cock like it's an everlasting gobstopper, but virtue signaling is all he knows. Bassmaster says, so Demi Lovato cuts her hair short, changes her pronouns, and that magically cures all the ills of the world. Yes. Pandering has such amazing powers. She used it all the right buzzwords too. You know Chad Thundercock is blowing that back out right now. I mean, maybe. I don't know that. Bassmaster. Wait, I read that one. Tess, not on holiday, says women aren't the only ones buying purses anymore. Bigot. Also, my YouTube account was wrongfully terminated yesterday. I haven't posted a video in a year. In what way should I yell at YouTube? In all of the ways. In all of the ways. Shadows King 101 says, Betty Batter had some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I bake this bitter butter, it would or will make my batter bitter. Okay. I guess. That was weird. Why are you talking about Betty's batter? That's weird. Shadows King says, a big black bug bit a big blue bug, and the big blue bug bled black blood. Sounds like a cicada thing. Are you guys eating the bugs yet? I asked earlier, but I need to ask more. Are you eating the bugs yet? Every fucking day I get Google recommended news of eating the bugs. Every day. Eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. Deathwish says, hey, did you hear some guy named Kentaro Miata died? I think he wrote Keanu Reeves' Berserker comic. Well, that's a shame. Humble Homebody says, sorry to hear that you have a case of the Mondays. Eat a piece of cake or buy a red stapler. You might feel better. I'm gonna eat a bowl of ramen in a minute. Dragon's Treasure says, thank you, Phoenix and the Weebs. I appreciate the love and support enough to give Nick money to thank you. Harvey Weinstein says, Kevin Spacey is a good guy. I would know. Oh, man. That's actually... See, this is the type of stuff. There's a really interesting thing going on with Weinstein. But if I do a short video on it, no one will watch it. No one will watch it at all. And that's what I hate about YouTube. But okay, so an appeals court just ruled that the company that bought the Weinstein Company's assets don't have to pay off the outstanding amount on contracts. Which means that a bunch of people like Robert De Niro, everybody basically involved with Silver Linings Playbook who's owed a bunch of money by the Weinsteins, not going to get paid. Not going to get paid. Because the judge ruled they're not executory contracts, because the executory aspect of the contract has already occurred. Already acted. They already directed. So now you've got a bunch of A-listers who aren't going to get any money. And it's amazing to me. Lord Immortalic says Keck De Niro has enough. He actually doesn't. De Niro's broke as shit. Absolutely broke. Because as Drexel has wonderfully elucidated, De Niro is broke, quote, he married a German Shepherd. What did he expect? What do you expect? De Niro is going through ridiculous divorce proceedings. And he's having to pay something like $100,000 to $300,000 a month. A month. So yeah, Bobby De Niro's like out of money. Very wild. Bad Dragonite says Gila Klein is Israeli, Nick. More anti-Semitism, smack my head. Also thoughts on Kellogg's making an LGBTQ plus cereal, teaching kids to write their pronouns on a special place on the box. That cereal looks like garbage. It's just a bunch of refuse cereal thrown into a box. Pathetic. Terrible. Kool-Aid Man says, oh yeah, Nick, my man. That mommy I was banging pulled out the old keep a picture baby, but the baby came out in many colors. Turns out the M&M crew were rolling in and running the train. So now I'm crashing into their house and banging their wives. Baby Kool-Aid coming. Weird. Nick Nero says, I've got a weird legal question. If you know of a crime and knew who did it, and cops knew you knew, could they arrest you for not telling them? Asking for a friend, not really, just curious. Not really. No, they can't compel you to tell them information. You can't obstruct their investigation, but that doesn't mean that you have to give them the information. They can't force you to answer unless they can arrest you for something. You think that trash cereal was just a Photoshop job? You saw it in Target yesterday and it was just heart-shaped Fruit Loops? God, I want some fucking Fruit Loops. Godzilla 2K26 says, that is because Vista broke hardware sound. Wolfgang Deo says, Nick, make sure you come to Arizona and whip me for supporting the audit in my county. No, support the audit all day. I don't have any problems with people supporting the audit. I have problems with the people telling them that the audit's going to do something that it's not. That's the problem that I have. Whip me, daddy. Trump 2021, let's make a path forward. Lol. Jonathan Gonzalez says, off topic, but what do you think of the unemployment rate that's currently happening right now? It's the greatest first 100 days of presidency ever. Can't believe anybody would think otherwise. Tom Bombethrill says, stop eating sugar. Dude, I don't eat cereal. I have lactose intolerance. It's depressing. I would love to. I want some. That's why I want it so bad. It's because I haven't eaten it in forever. Don't want to trash the Eternals trailer? Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Andrew Haskins says, it's my birthday. I pay you to say happy birthday. Happy birthday. Andrew Haskins. Happy birthday. Doomed says, will Min-May be at Anime Matsuri? I don't know. Linda Marie, welcome to paralegal status. Very much appreciated. Funny Valentine says, power went out in Atlanta for the past hour. Power's back, and now my fire alarm won't shut up. Oh, I fucking hate that. So I guess I'm up for the rest of the night with you, Mr. Ricada. Just take your fire alarm out and shoot it. Well, you're in Atlanta. Just throw it into the ghetto, and it'll probably get shot anyway. Robot Rumble says, Bedek is now pretending to be your wife. He's gotten beyond unhinged. Yep. Yeah. Ryan Brown said, and he's talking to himself as if that's a funny thing, but okay. Ryan Brown says, is Lynn Wood a crook or the real deal? Who is a lawyer that took the money that was meant for Rittenhouse? I don't know. I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was. I don't know what Lynn Wood's involvement with Rittenhouse is anymore. All I know is that Barnes is in there now. Barnes is in charge of the money. And will, hopefully get some good results out of it. Try Cinnamon Toast Crunch with some cheap bourbon. What, make Fireball the cereal? That might make a good short video, or like a good locals video. Not So Handsome Jack says, well, at least she isn't a pussy and not going through with it. Still leaves a bad taste in my mind when I think of Kitty Pryde now. Bowler Forever says, so people can get their top surgery, yet people like me don't have an option for fat removal surgery. Sad times. Galeron Runner says, look, I'm not saying it will be the best fap, but by God, I can and will fap to Elliot's photo. No, Galleon, don't do it. Midnight Mike says, I can't unsee that, Nick. That's the point. Suffer with me. Shakaval says, pansexual is a cooking thing, right? Yes. CJ says, be a great day to super chat, Nick. $5 to say to Nicole, open Bob and Vagine. Wait, I think I just channeled Baneling. Oh no, someone from Australia saved me. Mulviard says, screw that female dog. I worked hard to lose 75 pounds in 6 months. Those compliments and funny jests are motivational. Yes, they are. Eric, that's why my nose does 10 crunches a day, trying to get smaller because of the motivation you guys give me. Eric the Red says, after reflecting this last year, I've decided to give myself an ugly haircut, and from now on I will dress like a linebacker. Demi Lovato. Breck Nichols says, Ricada Law, she's on a journey. Can't you comprehend that, you beast? Nope. I don't comprehend anything. Famardi says, Mars Girl still has a weird obsession with Vic Mignogna. Yeah, Mars Girl released like a 30-minute video. I listened to 10 minutes. No, not even 10 minutes. 2 minutes of it. And I wanted to die. And I stopped. And I was like, oh, God, she's unlikable. Sage Emerald says, it creeps me out how they refer to this represents the me I am still getting to know and so on. They make themselves sound more than human, like they don't understand their own choices and thoughts. Yeah, it's a whole new lexicon. It's a whole new lexicon. That's why I hate it. Midnight Mike, welcome to Paralegal Status. My appreciation. Shakaval says, are taxes a business transaction? It depends what purpose you're talking about. Ryan says, Louis Vuitton died in 1892. Yeah, I meant the current CEO of Louis Vuitton. My bad. Vexner3 says, thoughts on the drag queen on PBS program for kids ages 3 to 8. Singing about drag queen and says she sees some kids watching as drag queens in training. Get on the wall. Get on the fucking wall. I'm done with it. Wick Dipper says, why does a company's legal personhood and rights count for more than an actual real person's? They don't. Paul Diedrich says, you can choose to host a website that doesn't allow comments or other speech from end users. It's completely your choice. Exactly. Exactly. Timothy Reaper says, over the past year and a half, I've been doing some healing. Didn't something about Mexican beer start up about a year and a half ago? Strange. Wolfgang Dale says, you can rent a Lambo. Now bring hot tub streams. Cyril Foxy says, good cop, bad cop. Which one kills them with kindness? Not So Handsome Jack says, in the Division 2 in New York, there's spots around where it's spray painted, fuck justice, we want revenge. Never had a game felt more relevant. Yeah, that's what they want. They just want revenge. Arias Rofocal says, I can't eat the bugs until the CDC recommends it. True. Tom Bombethrill says, look, basically, I'm just not going to eat them, the bugs. I'm sorry. I know. Ugh, I know. It's just that I'm not going to eat the bugs. PG says, don't forget to thank AOC for her service. Paul Dervey says, have you read the new Beckwin novel yet? Yes. Yes, I finished it a while back. I should probably do a review of it. It's great. I loved every minute of reading it. I was enthralled through all of it. I want Abnett to finish the story so much. That's where I started the Warhammer universe, is with Eisenhorn. And so I really want to know what's going on with Gregor, with Gideon, with Elizabeth. I want to know what's happening in there. I want the backstory on how he's got an Alpha Legionnaire on his team. I want more backstory Eisenhorn stuff happening. The Magos was good, but there's like 20 years between the Magos and Pariah. And so I want to know what happened there. Can't wait for hopefully something like that. Digitalis says rhinoplasty reduction will reduce your allergies by half by reducing ppm particle inhalation by 75%. Ask your doctor about rhinoplasty reduction today. Wolfgang Deo says, Wolfgang, just let me get that dick. There you go. All right, guys. That's the show for tonight. That's the show for tonight. Thank you for hanging out. We will have. Oh, fuck. I left off a whole topic. Oh! Apparently, some people have taken quite an interest in my PPP loan. And Ty's PPP loan. Dun, dun, dun. Guess we'll have to do it tomorrow. Guess we'll have to do it then. What I've learned is that lots of people have no idea how the PPP loan program works. Have no idea, and this is a pervasive problem. Have no idea what the purpose of the funds were for. No idea about anything. I literally talked about it with Ty on the stream and told people how they could get money that the government was going to pay out no matter what they did. Even if they never got it, government would pay it out. So go get it. Told them how to do it. Told them who qualified. Told them what to do. But apparently, it's some weird conspiracy or something that I got a PPP loan. Look, if the government's going to give me 20 grand, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. Absolutely. But that being said, it's on the minds of some people, and the amount of the commentary surrounding it is kind of embarrassing. So, but yeah, just so you know, in case you guys didn't hear from me saying, hey, I got my PPP loan. I got my PPP loan. Very happy to have it. Also will be great when I tell the government that I'm not going to pay it back because they told me I don't have to. So there you go. Very silly. Very silly. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Nick Heck says people have taken an interest in my PP. Brackets 2021. Look, I said that a long time ago. Isn't that loan only for people who have employees? No, that was the entire point of the stream. They wanted it for sole proprietors and independent contractors and gig workers. Like that's why we did the stream on it. Like if you are an independent contractor and not an employee, if you are a gig worker, if you are someone who is just runs your own business, if you're a Norwex consultant, if you're a Beachbody consultant, if you're selling it doesn't matter, whatever it is. If you're 1099, guess what? You qualify for a PPP loan. Get it. I mean, you can't get it anymore because it ran out of money. But yeah, that's why we did. That's why we did the stream, to let people know. Go get it. Go get it. And several people wrote in that they were able to get it as individual workers, as gig workers. Yeah, get it. Good. Kino Toshi says, these people being mad about the government giving out money is next level comedy. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I'll see you over on Twitch for a movie night, and we'll pick something good. Talk to you then. Peace. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-plaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitter and Erland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an Ardbeg, a Balmore, a Lafroig. The spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear lost planning tonight. From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the thought better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we are now. Oh, the guests are all planet folks from Dundee to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the team post on Twitter as we hear Lost Painting tonight. From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one